back with your shield, or at least up on it. Your prophecy's been sealed, but slaughter your opponents. Fight against fate, you ain't survived this long just to die. They said your quest was stupid, we'll prove that phrase a lie. Go make them fantasize, make them eulogize all your accomplishments, your victories, your battle cries. Fight on, you new heroes, go forth and forge your legends. Wanna be demigods? You better go and get it. Start up a whole new epic, make them go right and epic. They'll sing some songs about you, they'll say you're fucking epic. They'll set some brand new records, they'll downplay your effort. They'll say it's all genetic, but they just don't get it. The battle scars, the sweat glistening on your skin tells a different story, so you fledglings better go and win. Soak up all the glory, no milk drinker, you were weaned on gin. Become more than man, make these kings bow when you walk in. Make the gods forgive your sins, you fall hard for every win. Tear the threads of fate, no matter the stakes. You're the leading actors, this your stage. You cannot be caged, ignore all your fears, pick up your blade. You will conquer every challenge that dares to come your way. Look death up in the face, regardless of the size of the threats you might face. You can bend, but remember heroes, you must never break. And when all else fails, just remember to rage. Come back with your shield, or at least up on it. Your prophecy's been sealed, but slaughter your opponents. Fight against fate, you ain't survived this long just to die. They said your quest was stupid, we'll prove that phrase a lie. Go make them fantasize, make them eulogize all your accomplishments, your victories, your battle cries. Fight on, you new heroes, go forth and forge your legends. Wanna be demigods? You better go and get it. Start up a whole new epic, make them go right and epic. They'll sing some songs about you, they'll say you're fucking epic. They'll set some brand new records, they'll downplay your effort. They'll say it's all genetic, but they just don't get it. The battle scars, the sweat glistening on your skin tells a different story, so you fledglings better go and win. Soak up all the glory, no milk drinker, you were weaned on gin. Become more than man, make these kings bow when you walk in. Make the gods forgive your sins, you fall hard for every win. Tear the threads of fate, no matter the stakes. You're the leading actors, this your stage. You cannot be caged, ignore all your fears, pick up your blade. You will conquer every challenge that dares to come your way. Look death up in the face, regardless of the size of the threats you might face. You can bend, but remember heroes, you must never break. And when all else fails, just remember to rage. Come back with your shield, or at least up on it. Your prophecy's been sealed, but slaughter your opponents. Fight against fate, you ain't survived this long just to die. They said your quest was stupid, we'll prove that phrase a lie. Go make them fantasize, make them eulogize all your accomplishments, your victories, your battle cries. Fight on, you new heroes, go forth and forge your legends. Wanna be demigods? You better go and get it. Start up a whole new epic, make them go right and epic. They'll sing some songs about you, they'll say you're fucking epic. They'll set some brand new records, they'll downplay your effort. They'll say it's all genetic, but they just don't get it. The battle scars, the sweat glistening on your skin tells a different story, so you fledglings better go and win. Soak up all the glory, no milk drinker, you were weaned on gin. Become more than man, make these kings bow when you walk in. Make the gods forgive your sins, you fall hard for every win. Tear the threads of fate, no matter the stakes. You're the leading actors, this your stage. you cannot be caged. Ignore all your fears, pick up your blade. You will conquer every challenge that dares to come your way. Look death up in the face, regardless of the size of the threats you might face. You can bend, but remember, heroes, you must never break. And when all else fails, just remember to rage. Come back with your shield, or at least up on it. Your prophecy's been sealed, but slaughter your opponents. Fight against fate, you ain't survived this long just to die. They said your quest was stupid, we'll prove that phrase a lie. Go make them fantasize, make them eulogize all your accomplishments, your victories, your battle cries. Fight on, you new heroes, go forth and forge your legends. Wanna be demigods? You better go and get it. Start up a whole new epic, make them go write an epic. They'll sing some songs about you, they'll say you're fucking epic. They'll set some brand new records, they'll downplay your effort. They'll say it's all genetic, but they just don't get it. The battle scars, the sweat glistening on your skin tells a different story, so you fledglings better go and win. Soak up all the glory, no milk drinker, you were weaned on gin. Become more than man, make these kings bow when you walk in. Make the gods forgive your sins, you fall hard for every win. Tear the threads of fate, no matter the stakes. You're the leading actors, this your stage. You cannot be caged. Ignore all your fears, pick up your blade. You will conquer every challenge that dares to come your way. Look death up in the face, regardless of the size of the threats you might face. You can bend, but remember, heroes, you must never break. And when all else fails, just remember to rage. Come back with your shield, or at least up on it. Your prophecy's been sealed, but slaughter your opponents. Fight against fate, you ain't survived this long just to die. They said your quest was stupid, we'll prove that phrase a lie. Go make them fantasize, make them eulogize all your accomplishments, your victories, your battle cries.
Hello, welcome. We are live with episode 4. Joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Joining us, we have Hecenae. She is playing Nolia, the human fury. Say hi, Mira.
Hi, I'm here.
Welcome. Then we have Knife, and she is playing Tessem, the woad elf. I'm gonna call you assassin. We're Shadow.
Shadow, yeah. Hi.
Should we be upfront about what you actually are?
Yeah. Okay. It's gonna come up. It's gonna come up.
Tessem's a revenant. Tessem's a revenant. But players, shh, you haven't heard that. Earmuffs.
What?
Don't worry about it. And then lastly, we have Cypher, and he is playing. Who are you playing? What's his name? I can see it in my head. You're the human censor. Say hi, Cypher.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah.
I hope you're having a lovely day.
Yes. And yes, thank you all for joining us as always. I hope you are having a good one. Skip and Yuzu are not going to be able to join us tonight. So their characters are well, I know for Solem. Solem is ate too much at the feast and so is sick. And Oswald can't eat because he's ahead. So he's feeling really melancholic about the past couple days, finding about the truth about how history perceives him. So we'll say he's just too sad. He's got the blues. But yes, so our party has found themselves on this island over here. This is in Chimeria's territory. It is the island of Dorusos. And basically the gang, because Tassem and, well, I mean, yeah, technically Tassem wasn't here, but Knife and Mira weren't here last week. So just to catch you up to speed, the group decided to journey to Khimeria for various reasons, and they decided that the best course of action would be just to go to Dorusa and come across the Wolf of the Sea herself, because it rumors that she is on the let me take a step back. I'm realizing I thought a sentence and didn't say it. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so Khimeria has a faction thing going on. There's people that want to close the borders and people that want to keep the borders open and connect with the other nations. So the Wolf of the Sea is rumored to be on the side that wants to keep the borders open. So like, okay, if we make contact with her, maybe we can, get in their good graces and be able to get a council with the council, a meeting with the council. And so to do that, they had a negotiation with her, and they decided we'll hunt a chimera for them because chimera are kind of sacred, but also you kind of want to hunt them because they are sacred. So they did that, and now Yurei has a fancy new pelt of a chimera, so he has some status symbol in their lands, and they end up with a feast. So yeah, we are having a feast.
Oh yeah.
Your two characters, Tassem and Nolia, were seasick, but now you're feeling better for the feast, so you're coming in. And while you're coming in, you overhear Lakosa is the Wolf of the Sea. That's her name. Let me give a description of her, so we can be on the same page. So yeah, a fit woman, wearing like a toga, has like a leather kind of skirt going on, armor greaves, wearing the mane of a chimera. She has, her left arm is a wooden prosthetic, and long, kind of not necessarily unruly hair, but like, she doesn't comb it as often as she does. But yeah, long black hair, kind of like a fierce look. She goes from expressions of either looking very lethargic or very intense. She kind of dials between the two.
Okay.
But yeah, you, as you're coming to the feast, you overhear her talking about, if we help out my father's wife, we can have favor with him. She has some sort of sickness or disease where she's cold to the touch, and her eyes are almost frosted over. So, no, you overhear that.
Oh. Well, really? Okay. Because okay, I overhear it. She's just talking to someone else about it, right?
Yeah. She's talking to like the rest of the crew. You're coming in.
Okay.
You're coming in a bit late to the party, but you overhear that conversation where they're discussing.
Okay. What's the word? She perks up.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is something she shouts out because it's the first thing that she thinks of. Do you have a plan? Do you know what to do about it?
No, we were hoping that, you lot could figure that out. Our doctors have found nothing of anything. I believe, she gestures to Yurei, that Yurei said he would take a look at her. He has magic, it seems, of some sort. Maybe he can be of assistance.
The Yurei gestures he wants to double check something. hopes he's wrong.
Well, there is some sort of lead I have for cases like this, but I don't have too much information other than just a doctor.
Well, that's more than we have. Where resides this doctor?
Thalius.
Thalius?
Specifically, if I... yeah, Thalius. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as you know, currently our borders are closed, and we do trade with Athos, but Thalius itself is another story, especially if it's some sort of specialized doctor. Again, you'd have my eternal thanks if you were to help out my stepmother. And you would find favor with my father, and that would help, well, it would help your party with their goals. If you believe this is a lead, I mean, you can set sail for Thalius. I'll leave it to you to discuss your next plan. Just know I will fully support you. Again, she may not be my mother, but I love that woman like she was. She has been kind to me all of these years, and took me in like her own. I guess that's true of my father. My father's also adopted me, but, you know. This woman means a lot to me. She...
Right.
Yeah.
Right, I understand. You don't need to go any further. This is, of both our interests.
Yes.
I know someone with this as well.
Then hopefully finding this cure will benefit both of us. And
Sam, he's overheard all of this, and I think he's going to interject.
Ooh.
So, do you know what time this started?
I'd say roughly a month or so ago.
A month. And, Nolia, was this also a month for you?
Was it a month? I don't remember.
So you getting from where you're from took about, like, I'd say 2 weeks or so. And it started, it'd be more like 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. So, almost a month. It's around that time frame, but a little shorter.
So, we're saying that it's taken roughly a month for whatever this plague is to cross the borders.
That's the thing about this disease. We've definitely quarantined her, but I don't know. Our current physicians don't think it's contagious. We're not sure how she got it. We're honestly quite baffled by this whole thing.
This could be a plague of magic, or a plague, or just an ordinary plague.
Again, we're not... Our physicians have never seen the likes of this. We're at a loss. If you know any lead that could help us, I plead you to pursue it, but given that you know someone, I feel like I don't even need to plead. I know you would pursue it anyways.
I feel like I have to. So,
Mhm.
of course.
It takes every fiber of my being not to want to journey with you to find this cure, but I have my duties here.
That's perfectly fair. Best.
So she's quarantined.
Yes. Just to be on the safe
Hmm.
side, again, we've never seen the likes of this, and her physicians thought it'd be best to, ensure no one else catches it. But it has been a month, and not even the caretakers looking after her have any signs of this disease or
And
plague or what have you.
no sign of. Looks over to Yurei. No signs of rash.
No.
This seems different from the other plague.
The Yuri says it's not the disease that he's worried about because he's unfamiliar with it. The one on the stepmom. He wants to check something else. And he just hopes he's wrong.
Fair. Well, if you have any expertise on anything related to this, I'm more than happy on letting you perform your your, I'm trying to say, like, physicianal duties? No, that's not right. Your medical inquiry. We'll go with that. But just as a reminder, she is back home in Khimeria proper. You'd have to sneak into the estate. I know Father would not let outsiders in. We do have a proof of what's the word? Social upstanding with this one, and she's gesturing towards Yuri and the pelt, more specifically. So entering the city itself and even the country is not an issue, but the estate itself will need either espionage, stealth, bribery, even whatever manner you can get in there to not alert my father. I can try my best to come to him with a political nature, oh, woe is me, the fortress here on Dorusa, we need more trained soldiers. And he will obviously argue against it. I know my father. But I can at least keep up appearances like we need it, and at least distract him for the time being. But the guards themselves, well, you can either sneak past them or bribe them or persuade your way in. That would be up to you if you do want to see her.
Perhaps maybe a letter of recommendation could help us. Unless they don't like to read.
Well, it's more so my father is... He is a... I do not speak bad of him, of course, but he is very cautious and especially worried when it comes to familiar matters. He will not let anyone in unless it's someone with a cure. And seeing that you're only going to examine her, he will not trust you. You may have rank and status now in our country, but he does not know you. He is a difficult man at times to work with.
Yuri gestures, so he doesn't allow anyone in unless they claim to have a cure.
Yes, unless it's his own staff to care for her, he will not let outsiders in. But again, I can distract if you would like to try and, again, sneak, bribe, persuade, whatever manner. I mean, you lot seem the sort to have talents to get into places you shouldn't be.
Sam just kind of nervously just nods, thinking about how he got his current job. Yes. Well, we need to have a delicate approach to this.
Of course.
We obviously look like foreigners. He shoots a look at Ure with his wheel and his foreign clothing, and then Nolia with her leathers. Do you think a Chimerian, Chimera pelt is going to be enough for him to even trust us?
No, but it's enough to get you on the island. The trust will come if we find a solution to this sickness. Knowing him, he will immediately welcome you with open arms if you do find a way to heal his wife.
And what if we fail?
Well, I do not want to think about that possibility. That will cause a rift and make the goal of trying to ally with him, quite frankly, impossible. He will be an enemy of us if we fail.
Are you sure you don't want to come with us?
Oh, I really do. You know it, but... She kind of gestures. I am the leader of this island. I unfortunately have responsibilities. As much as they weigh down on me, I have to do them.
Well, we are your liaison in what they say. So I guess we'll just have to try.
And again, this is, if I understand correctly, just so that your companion can examine her.
Yes.
Well, let's not get soured by the details of tomorrow. It is a feast. Let's celebrate. We can discuss logistics later.
Yuri nods and he said he will give it some... He wants to think about it.
Of course.
Talk about it with his comrades first.
Of course. Now, you are my guests here. And of course, my home is your home for the time being. But there is one thing I must press upon you. Nay, I demand upon you. You must regale with me a story of adventure. It is my charge of entry, as it were. And she has like a little twinkle in her eye. Any of you? Any of you have any stories of wonder and awe? Of combat and prowess? Of adventure on the high sea? I'm sure you lot have interesting lives. I would love to hear one.
She kind of just shakes her head.
Hmm.
And Yuri expresses that I don't know if what I have very little experience and exposure outside my home. I only left not too long ago. And and the rest, it's a rather unpleasant thing.
Hmm.
I don't know if you'd like it. He admits.
Well, stories, you say? Let's see. Well, on the way out of Tibet, we almost got murdered by whatever those things are in the sea.
Ah.
I blew it up.
Oh.
It blew right up. Oh, I hate the ocean.
Kraken. Or was it a megalodon?
What?
Describe this creature to me.
Well, it just had an arm. Just kind of like an octopus.
Okay, yes, that's a kraken.
Just what's a megalodon?
She has a coy smile. Don't worry about it.
What do you mean? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Wait.
about it. I'm sure.
What?
I'm sure your captain
What?
can fill you in if you're curious.
But
Wait, you fought a giant
What?
sea monster?
yeah,
Those
Yeah,
are in
on
the
the way-
ocean?
yes.
But it's so pretty. What?
No. He goes over. He takes Nolia aside and like points to Yurei, and he's like, "Look, I don't know how he survived, but he doesn't know how to swim, and I really do want to give him some swimming lessons, but not in the ocean, okay? Not in whatever the hell is in under that water. Hell no, we're doing it in the Nile, in
You-
Tibet.
I mean, have you never tried the good old just throw them in the water tactic and hopefully
There's-
to learn?
No, I think that's not good.
I mean, it's how I learned.
Yeah, but you pull out people's entrails with your bare hands.
Well, I didn't do that when I was younger. When I got thrown into the ocean, the water, not ocean.
Wait, what color is your water, by the way?
What?
What color is it? Is it purple?
Okay, I clearly don't know enough. It purple.
Yeah, in Tibet, the Niles are purple. I've never seen
Wait.
blue water before. I mean, I've seen it
I-
out on the port, but not up
I-
close.
I clearly have not seen enough of anywhere around here. The water is blue, so that was purple. Really? Do you know why it's purple?
I don't know. Well, blue's weird to me. I don't know. It's just purple. It's always been purple. But like, I think we should train Yurei in the purple water and not the blue water, because the blue water has things that could kill you in it.
Yeah, but what if the purple water has things that can kill you in it?
What, like an alligator? Those things are harmless. Absolutely harmless. A crocodile? Harmless.
You know, I think we shouldn't be the ones to teach him.
But there's okay. I just don't trust the blue water. I think the purple water is safe for his development.
Well, clearly things are different. What if he only knows about red water? Or like some green water? Clearly there are other colors of waters that I do not know of.
I don't think he knows what water is.
How is he alive?
Yurei turns around and he looks dead at you after you said that, and he's like he aggressively like says with his hand gestures, "I know what water is."
Okay, but
like-
do you know the difference between the blue water and the purple water?
He's like shocked. His like jaw's kind of down, and he looks defeated. And
I don't even know the difference.
he says that he gestures, "I'm gonna go outside and take a breather," and he's just like kind of dragging himself out.
Of course. So yeah.
Turns over to, is it Lycosa?
Lycosa, yeah.
So Lycosa, indulge me in part of the culture, and you mentioned a megalodon.
Yes.
I'm very curious
she
to
just has
know.
a big grin. Well, some call them here at least the wolves of the sea.
Ooh.
But do not think of
Fascinating.
wolves as you know them. They got that name because of their bite.
Oh?
They're a large fish. Do you know what a shark is?
For heard of it, it's just a big fish, right?
Well, yes,
Yeah.
a big predator of the sea. Megalodon is that, but of a scale, a scale that causes issues to boats.
The Sam just follows Yurei outside. Just like his eye widens, and then he just follows Yurei outside, and he's just like saying something in Temetic. And he brings Yurei back. And like forces him, like turns his shoulders over to Lycosa. So-
He asks like he gestures, "Sorry, can you give me a second? I need to double check something." And he like sort of like gracefully just tries to like, you know, be like, he goes outside, and he since while he's outside, he pulls out a sensor. It's like a hand pocket sensor, like the ones they have in like Warhammer. It's like it dangles on their finger.
Oh.
And he smokes it up and then puts it near his like face, and he looks around. And I wanted to ask the GM if anything comes to him or if he sees anything.
Okay. So I want you to make me a roll of some sort.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what role would that like?
I'm just trying to think. I think presence might be the attribute that we're
Presence,
rolling,
okay.
because it's, it's kind of tied with that. And then if there's any skill that you want to add that you think is appropriate.
I was gonna ask, since it's tied to his like faith,
Yep.
would religion?
Oh
be
yeah,
a
we could use religion.
thing?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
your presence
that-
plus 2.
Okay. Presence. That's 2d10s plus 2.
And what's your presence?
2.
So that'd be another 2. So that'd be 2d10 plus 4 is what you're rolling.
Oh,
Yeah, your skills add a plus 2. Ooh, okay. 13 is a tier 2. So this is specifically for members of the White King, right?
or like
Or is it any?
that, or like just anything. It's something. It's like sight, nose, sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you looking back into the feasting table?
No,
Just in
looking
general.
outside.
Looking outside at the town in general.
Yeah.
Okay. I think what you see, and do you have an idea about like how you see it, or
It's like something that's like I can see it, but no one else can.
okay.
I think of like the insight thing from Bloodborne. It's like that.
Okay, cool. So I think what you're saying is you're saying like almost like wisps, these like black smoky wisps that you would know represent a member of the Black King was here, but these wisps are old. It's almost like something was here, but it's gone now. If it's just leaving like a almost like a residue that you can tell like, oh, it was here at some point. Whether it will come back, whether it is gone for good, that's hard to say, but something related to the Black King was here at some point.
Was here, so not like was here as in they're not on this island.
They're not
anymore.
currently. You're not getting any hint of presence. You're just getting residue. You're just getting these like smoky kind of tendrils, letting you know that it something was here that was residing here, but is no longer here.
Okay. He notes it down. And then he comes back inside.
Okay. So yes, at this point, I think Captain Soliel is regaling Lycosa with a story, because to be honest, Lycosa was like kind of like, oh, you just fought a Kraken, and we fight Kraken all the time. I want something that I don't know about, right? So she was a little sad after Sam just talked about a thing that she's used to. She was kind of hoping for like, tell me about like Temet, tell me about like where you're from. But so you over here as you're coming back in, Captain Soliel, who you remember is a mnemonic. She is a inorganic creature from a different plane of existence. She's from the world above. She's talking about journeying on the Mercury seas. And she's talking about her swashbuckling adventures on the world above, on the plane of law. And so there I had him. I had that no good scoundrel at the edge of my cutlass. I had him walk the plank. And so yeah, you come to like the story like that. So yeah, what do you do?
Yura is kind of lost in thought, so he just walks to where his seat was and he kind of sits on it, pouring out his notebook again.
Okay. So yeah, Captain Soliel will finish his story. Yes.
I want to do something.
Okay.
Seeing your just kind of go off. She a feeling kicks in. She like grabs food and puts it in front of Yuri. It's like, hey, you should at least make sure to eat if you're gonna, you know, do your own little thing.
Yuri looks up and he smiles with a gesture. Thank you. And then he takes like really posh bites from it while reading and jotting notes.
Say you're jotting notes and you're hearing Captain Soil be like, and so I cut the scoundrel's belt, and his pants went flying down to his knees, and I kicked him off the ship into the Mercury Sea, and that's how I became the captain of my first ship at the age of 14. I was like, oh, fascinating. They're cheering. They're not. They're more like, yeah, that was sick. And she does a little bow.
Wait, hang on a minute. In the upper planes, do you have diseases?
We still get sick, yes. We're not immune to.
How
Actually,
do
wait. Let me
we-
double check. Let me double check that mnemonic. I have to actually see what mnemonics are. What their stats are, because they might. I'm assuming they don't get. I don't know. I don't know. They're still living creatures, so I would assume they still have sickness. They just have different kind of sicknesses. Yeah, they don't have any. They don't have anything that says they're, immune to poison or disease. So yeah, go on.
So, like, as a player, so they don't have diseases?
Oh no, they get sick.
They can get sick.
They're still
Okay.
just because. So when I say inorganic, I mean they're silicon-based life forms instead of carbon-based life forms.
Mm.
So they still have immune systems. It's just they're different. They're biologically different, but they would have sickness and disease as well. It's a different kind.
Sam is just going to delicately raise something.
Okay.
So, how do you know that a disease or a manifestation of plague from the upper plane hasn't, escaped?
Oh, it has in the past. There's been plenty of sickness, at least from initial contact, but it's been hundreds of years since our people have contacted, and, well, I'd like to think we've gotten hardier since then and used to it.
Does it resemble any of the plague that is, affecting Lacosa's mother?
No, I've been listening to that you all talk about, and I have never heard of a disease quite like that makes you so cold and yeah. That
Do
I
you
do
still
not
have
know.
contact?
What was that?
Do you still have contact with the upper plane?
Um.
This sounds like a biohazard that could affect the upper plane. That's why I'm asking.
Of course. Well, I'm going to say, and then Palm is like, the captain's a wanted criminal on the upper plane. And so I'll just kind of looks at her, and she's like, "What? We gotta listen. She's a great pirate of the Mercury Seas. She hasn't done any legally. We are privateers in Hecenae, but I mean, we should let the crew know who you are." And Captain Sawyer's like, "Yeah, okay. Listen, I was young, you know. Girls gotta have fun somehow. I don't really have much contact with the world above.
Okay. Well, this is awkward for both of us because whatever has come out of these cults could very much affect the upper plane. The secondary plague too, with the ice and the chill, could also affect the upper plane.
Mhm.
It is our duty to ensure that this does not spread.
Of course.
However, knowing your status, right? I can't believe you're a criminal. I mean, knowing your status,
I like to
it's
say
important.
yes. I'm a pirate of well renown. Let's put it that way. Criminal sounds so passe. I am much more than that. She's kind of more leaning into it now that now that the cat's out of the bag.
Question:
Yes.
do you have an arrest warrant?
Oh, several. At least on the upper plane.
Several.
Not the plane. The world between is. I'm squeaky clean here. Legally, they can't
Good.
touch me here.
But if you were to return to the upper
Oh
plane,
yes, I would be fanning off many a bounty hunter.
Okay. Good to know. Just is just like this piece of information has just changed how the way that he views us
Okay, cool.
completely. Like I guess he's more like, oh, she's just like me for real.
That's good. Because you were tense around her earlier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess trying to think.
Yeah.
Sam just kind of just thinking.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking about like, okay, so this is probably not if this cult affects the upper plane, what is probably going to happen? Have you had any?
Yeah.
Have you had anything from the lower plane affect the upper plane in your lifetime?
Not necessarily in my lifetime. But the cities of law are very particular about what gets in. They have a very strict. I'm trying to think of like what the word is for, like when you're like you're at like an airport and they stop you at a gate, and that, like, what is the term for that?
Border patrol?
Border patrol? Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. They have a very tight border patrol.
Just like Tibet.
I am not surprised, given that, well, from what I understand, you have taken in plenty an immigrant from Axiom.
Oh, Axiom.
Yes, the city of law, the main city of law. We have many cities of law, but Axiom is, well, is the biggest, is what we refer to as. Let me retcon something, because Axiom's not the city. Axiom is what they call the world above. That's what we call the world above. Is the name of our plane. I misread my notes. I was looking at the wrong category. Just like you call, well, I guess the world is simply what you call it. To us, axiom is what is in our language what is world.
I see.
But specifically is also more than that. It also means a world of law. We have words for the world below, but they are not nice words, so I will not say them.
I see where Temet gets it from.
Yes.
For a wink.
Yeah, she's like, I am very sorry for. I'm very sorry. I, for one, have never been a fan of laws. I know it's in our nature to be lawful, but I don't know. Something about adventure just speaks to me. They say mnemonics are said to have been cursed with emotions. And I guess I've just been more cursed than other mnemonics.
Boredom is not fun.
You know. Typically, our emotions don't really affect us on the world above, but I guess I was just special in that way.
What do they even do up there, though? It's not comprehending. Like, it's just like, huh?
They build cities. They build infrastructure. They do trade routes. Very boring bureaucracy. They gotta keep that wheel spinning.
Well, you learn something new every day.
Of course.
And I think this has been an eye-opening experience, if I do say myself.
Yes. Part of me is interested in visiting Tibet, but also the bureaucracy, the legality of it is so blasé. I am curious to see how devil interaction has shaped the city, though.
Let's just say that it's an experience and you'll learn. But the mnemonics in Tibet and the devils in Tibet, they are the divinators of our nation. They are the eyes of the gods. They have a direct connection to our gods. So if you think that you could get into the nation without being seen, that's another story. I don't know if I could guarantee your safety just due to their magic.
Well, if I go in through legal channels, I'm sure that I have nothing to worry about. After all, if there are mnemonics there that worship your gods, they've given up ties to our plane back home. It's honestly quite fascinating to hear mnemonics worship gods besides, well, the great law itself.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know about that. I don't know if that... He cuts himself off. That's either here or there. You'll just have to see.
Fair. Well, finding out is part of the journey.
You fought a megalodon, right?
Oh, plenty.
Good. Good. Do you know how to swim?
Of course.
Oh,
I'm a
excellent.
captain of a
Wonderful.
boat.
I feel confident in this. You think you could teach Mr. Wheel how to swim?
Oh, yes, I'll teach him how I was taught. Just be thrown in the water and you'll figure it out.
Okay. Nice. Doesn't understand that process because he had to go through like a try, like he had to like do a full like 5-year course as a child.
Yeah. Though
He
you
was still
see,
not good at it.
you see that she kind of like plunged for a second. Though I guess it must be different for non-mnemonics. You see, we are quite light for, our weight. I think we might be naturally. Well, I think all creatures are naturally buoyant, but we are especially light. I think we just float better. So maybe my training doesn't quite work for, well, a human.
But he also has a cool wheel though.
Very heavy wheel.
I think he'd be like a fish to water. I just think that I'm learning so much about the contents of the sea.
Ah, yes, is a thick old mistress.
Why is that?
Bernie Seed, would you like to explain why the Great Interior Sea is the way it is? And Bernie Seed's like, she's in the middle of eating something. And she's like, okay, well, you see, I don't even start. The sea is influenced by Thesilos, the ruler, and he's a fick old man himself, a fick old god, a fick old lord. I have to remember my praise for him. It's part of the reason why the seas of Hecenae are more temperamental than other seas. Of course, all seas have bad weather, as it were. It's just the nature of things. Storms come in, but Thesilos is takes a lot of his anger out on the sea, and yeah, it is simply life amongst here.
I see. It is what it is.
Exactly.
It is what it is. Well, I think I should start preparing for this break-in / negotiation / saving the nation of another disease. But it was good talking to you. I'm sorry for my behavior earlier.
Oh, no, it's understandable. From what little I have heard of Timet, I understand why you would have a bad relationship with mnemonics. Completely understandable.
Let's just say that it is what it is.
Of course.
And it is what it isn't. Have a nice night.
Okay, are you turning in for the night then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head off. Is anyone else sticking around to enjoy the feast, or are you also going to call it for the night?
I will call it for the night.
Okay. What about your A?
Yuri just wants to ask one question before he leaves. He wants to ask her He gestures. Has there been anyone you know lately that has, and he's kind of puzzled on how to put it, changed?
Are you asking
Or-
the captain or are you asking Lacosta?
Like Kosa,
Okay.
the one that accompanied us, right?
Yes. Yeah. Lacosta's like
Okay,
the
yeah.
what would they call her? Because they don't really do like senators or like she's like the
Mm,
I don't know what the city. She's the ruler of the city, right?
mhm.
I think it's just ruler, yeah, or because like they're very militaristic, so I think it'd be more like she's the overseer of the city, something like something. I think yeah, overseer is what they call her. But yeah, if you're asking if someone's changed or is different,
He gestures like felt off or not right.
hmm. Well, of my accompaniment, not that I can say. Um, some of the traders from Athos have been off, but I don't know if that's. I mean, it could be very much a political nature for their behavior, considering that father is part of the council that wants to tighten up the grip on foreign influence, and well, they make their living through that. So it is a big city, and I alas do not know all her people, but just within my circle of knowledge, traders of Athos seem more different lately. Whether that is of a natural conclusion or a supernatural conclusion, well, I guess that's up for you to find out.
He nods and he thanks her for her answer with a gesture before leaving.
Okay. So y'all turn in for the night?
Yeah.
Okay, so morning comes around, and you meet back up in like probably the dining hall, though the dining hall has kind of been rearranged. The tables have been pushed. The tables are no longer in the center, and the not quite throne that Lacoste was sitting on, it's more like a fancy chair, right? Has been kind of pushed back onto like a dais near the back wall. And so she is there. She's really sleepy this morning. She's like leaning on her sword. And she's just like, oh, good morning. I hope you all had a good rest.
He nods. He slept well.
Good.
The Sam doesn't sleep. So it's just like, acknowledges the greeting and is being polite.
Mhm.
She slept okay, so she just does the same as the Sam. Acknowledges, replies, continues.
Okay. Now, we should discuss our plan of action. You still want to visit my stepmother and see the nature of this disease for yourself?
Of course. However, how is your stepmother's attitude towards us, the foreigners?
Um, I think she would greet you with open arms. She is a very kind woman. She used to love saying that her home is a home to any who would indulge in her various interests. If you can, she's quite the talker. So if you, she likes to joke that if you can put up with her yapping, then her home is your home.
And your father?
Oh,
So-
quite the opposite.
How does he respond to authority? Yurei is an agent of his nation.
But he is a foreign agent. The only authority that he is concerned with is the authority of Khimeria,
Mm.
who will most likely not recognize it.
Hmm.
If you're not part of the war council, then it matters not to him.
Do you know anyone from the War Council that could, assist us?
Well, there's this. There's a few, but I'm not sure. Insist you in what way? Assist you in what way?
Negotiation.
Negotiation. Unfortunately, those that I know of don't particularly like talking to my father if they can help it.
I'm all ear.
Good
Just
one.
the one. Get it?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not a jokester.
Fair enough. Is there a reason why they're not hospitable toward him, or is it just because your father is your father and he's
Partially that, but
hostile?
also a lot of political maneuvering. The War Council likes to put on the air that they are all in agreement, but they're divided. One faction feels like a war is coming and wants to isolate themselves to prepare for that war. The other faction feels like they need the strength of the full nation of Hecenae to fight off this war. And it's those that are of the later faction do not want to give away that they are of that faction, for that will put a target on their back. They are not strong enough yet to openly disagree with the rest of the council's policies. They are biding their time and trying to gather more allies before they feel confident enough to let loose the dogs of war, as it were. For, the council itself is almost like a mini battle. It's a battle unto itself. Battle of ideas and words. It have grave consequences for the losers.
So it's actually a bit of an advantage that we're a third party and not involved
Yes.
with their history. I see.
Surprise element. There's if you do want someone on the work council, there's a couple options, of course. if we manage to help my stepmother out, my father would, of course, he'd be indebted to you. And he would, his virtues would force him to sit down and have a council with you. And you could talk to him and hopefully get him to agree that we are stronger together as a people. The other one is more, well, one I don't care for, but there's been talks of nominating me to the council. I served in the council in the past, and I do not particularly... I'm not a fan of it, but if it must be done, then it must be done. But that will take time. That is not a easy approach.
Realistically, we can't offer a solution for your stepmother's disease.
Mm-hmm.
But we can offer support that is outside of the political realm of your nation. Would that be a reasonable compromise?
Not for my father, unfortunately. He needs results.
So we have to find a result.
You need to find a result.
Before she dies.
Before she dies. That's... yes. I believe your companion said that she has a lead on a possible cure. And she gestures towards Nolia.
Yes, it's a doctor by the name of Cynthia.
Do you know the location of this doctor?
Just in Thales. That's all I know.
Well, it seems one possible route for getting on my father's good graces is finding this doctor during the Thalius. If you want, while you're away, I could start campaigning for that seat. I'm sure by the time you'll get back, I might have made progress towards getting on the council. We can have a two-pronged strike.
A good move.
But yes, she claps her hands together. You want to take a look at my stepmother, gesturing towards Ure. Maybe
he nods.
Maybe your medical knowledge can help open an eye to something about her sickness.
He gestures. If he will be blind, he will speak plain. He will be plain. He wants to see if your. I want to see if your stepmom is, and then he puts in quotations like infected, not the disease that my ally is speaking of, but I wish to know if she has become something she is not, or there is something in her where she lives that is causing this uneasing feeling I have. And he pulls out his sensor. It's like a ball shape, and it's dangling on his finger, and he shows it. And he says, inhaling this allows me to... And then he he pauses for a second and he goes, see things. Things that are not, they're there, but you can't see them.
Hmm.
And then, he puts it near his face, and then afterwards, he said, for example, outside your tent, I saw tiny tendrils. It means there was remnants of a cult group that worship the Black King.
You see, she
They were.
Mhm.
Sorry?
Oh, she just sits up at this, and you see the tiredness kind of fade from her eyes, and immediately it's replaced with like an intenseness.
And then he gestures, and the followers of the Black King, in combat, they are weak, utterly useless, but they disguise themselves as people, mortals among you. They take over the host's body, and then they become something horrific.
So
And simply killing them is not enough. If you cut one down, you have simply created two of them, which is why my weapon. And then he pulls out his wheel. This weapon is to make sure they don't ever spawn again.
Mhm. Then we must be on high alert if that's the case. I will have any signs. Just she kind of puts two and two together. That's why you're asking about those who have changes of behavior.
He nods, yes. And
Mhm.
he gestures. You claim that no one in your circle, those you hold close, have changed or acted odd.
No, my inner circle has been consistent. But
And he nods like, that's good. He just wanted to make sure.
of course, I will have them search. I'll have them do a secret inquiry in the city to see if any locals have been acting unusual, if we can weed out any of these cultists.
He gestures. There is a way to wrap them out with words. If he gestures, if one knows the individual, ask them a question that dates back before 4 weeks.
Before 4 weeks. So there's a time frame we can work with.
And he nods like, yes. Anything before 4 weeks, they don't have memories of. It's why, they often try to blend in and learn the patterns and then develop, so it becomes harder to find. But the quicker we can find them, the less worry we have.
I see. This is sage advice I will bring up with my council right away. Also, everyone hydrate!
Hydrate!
Hello?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh!
Cheers.
Yeah, getting back to the roleplay. This is most invaluable. I am thankful why you are on my side. Having an enemy that can hide amongst themselves as if they are just someone else is quite terrifying.
He also gestures. The other method, which is one that my kind are more familiar with, is we often put ourselves a target. We will purposefully lure them out because they are drawn to killing my people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know we can rat them out. And then he kind of like he's like pointing at his clothes. It's why we wear this.
I see. Well,
They start, and then he gestures. They start acting irrational, very weird, because they are afraid of us.
We'll keep this knowledge in hand. We will do our personal inquiries, see if we can find any leads, and we can use you as a burning arrow to draw them out if that needs to be the case. But hopefully we will have more info by the time you venture back from both Khimeria and even Thelaeus.
He gestures. If the 4-week method does not work, any suspicion you find, let me be the first to go in, because, and then he also speaks, he gestures plainly, the heal that I perform allows me to not only heal people, but it also acts like an alert. The moment I start doing and then he kind of mimics the spell he's doing. He's not actually doing it, but he's mimicking it. He said, "What I'm doing is I'm speaking their tongue, and they don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers them, but only I can do that. No one." And then he says it's something no other mortal should utter.
I see. Well, I have lots of work ahead of me. Yes, we will root out these cultists. Cannot have them roaming my city.
He agrees, and he says that he will find a way to get into where your stepmother is and help.
Yes. I believe it's for the best on that topic that we take my vessel. We'll have your captain and her ship properly what's the word I want to say? Stocked up. Well, they'll have properly stocked up for the vessel, for the voyage to Thalius. But on my vessel, there will be no questions. And once we're in the city, why, proof of pelt is enough to grant access. But yes, I'm sure you're all hungry. May you break the fast, and once you are ready, once you are prepared, we will journey to Khimeria City.
Hashem nods.
She nods as well.
Okay. So yeah, y'all have breakfast. If you have anything you need to prep beforehand, let me know.
I don't think there's anything. We've spent all our, for those from last session, did you spend your recoveries?
Some of the recoveries probably got spent. They haven't had a reprise yet. So whatever Cypher is at for recoveries, that's what he's at. But you two are fresh because you weren't there. I will say,
Nice.
Nolia and Tassem, you do have one victory check. You still share in the victory that your allies do, because I don't want to have mismatching XP for people, just because that's a hassle on my end. I'd rather have you all be at the same level. So everyone's at one. Everyone's at 4 experience and 1 victory currently.
Okay, then I'm fine.
Okay.
I'd like to. I'm assuming I'm not fully recovered, or
you can spend
or am I?
you can spend a recovery to heal. Because where are you at for stamina? Are you down?
I'm at. I don't know if this is the right save because this thing is very janky, but it says 25.
Okay, that sounds about right. Because I remember after the Chimera battle, I did let you spend recoveries to heal back up. So
yeah,
where are you at for recoveries?
I have 13 because I remember I
You
spent
spent one.
one.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
When we were feasting, yeah. So I was wondering if I could just spend another one, top myself
Yeah, you can
off.
top yourself up.
Okay. Oh, done. 13.
I actually think you might
Okay.
have spent one more recovery healing Skip, or
Okay, so then
you
that's
might be at
11.
11. Yeah, you either
Yeah,
healed
you're right.
you healed someone. I remember.
I remember. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Fun thing about sensors, and especially human sensors, because Cypher took the thing that gives him more recoveries. Sensors get a shit ton of recoveries, and Cypher gets even more for being a human, because he chose the human thing. Because sensors can use their recoveries to heal other people, so they just get a lot more
Oh shit.
because they spend theirs to heal people, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so you board the Wolf of the Sea, the Grey Wolf. And you venture forth to Khimeria. Normally, this would be like a day travel to get from Dorusos to Khimeria City. Khimeria City is kind of it's on the south of the island, kind of near where the mountain range starts. But because the Grey Wolf is a very fast ship, it's going to take you like half a day, right? So you leave in the morning, you'll get there in the evening, and you see when you come in to port, the city is like carved into the mountains itself. And it's not just mountains. The mountains eventually they keep going. There's like a volcano in the middle of this mountain range. And so it's kind of carved into this mountain range. And it's like this very tiered system where like, there's the port, right? And then there's the next level, and there's more buildings in the next level. So it's very like almost like a step like kind of city where it's built up into this mountain as it like, it's almost built on these giant stairs and then carved into the mountain as it gets into there. And it's very walled, it's very fortified, compared to the cities that you've seen so far. It's, it looks like it's a bastion. Like this city is ready for assault. It is strategically placed. You can tell the people who built this ages ago, they were ready for battle. They're ready to protect their home. And even how the port itself is, the port's not an open port. They have seawalls that have a massive there's these two statues at the end of these seawalls, and they're very spears drop down to make a gate, and so they can literally cut off their port if need be. And along these walls on the sea, they have like men stationed on them, and they have giant ballistas. So it's very, very intimidating just coming into it. But the gate is currently open. They see, a familiar ship approaching, so they don't even bother to stop for inspection. They know this is the, this is the overseer, Darusa. So she gets special treatment. So she comes into port, and there is some guards there, and she sees she sees you all come in, and for a second, she immediately goes to like she wants to say something, but she sees the pelt that you're holding, and she stops herself, and she looks at Lacosta, and she just kind of nods and steps aside because she's like, "Oh, okay, this is what's happening." So you head in. There is like a almost like a customs type thing here. And Lycosa goes up and just is talking. You overhear it. You're not that far away. Yeah, we have someone here to get their pelt tailored. That's your official reason for visiting the city. And yes, this is the Slayer of Khimeria himself, Ure, and his entourage. And the clerk's like, of course, writing this down and getting the paperwork. And so yeah, you're able to get into the city proper without any hassle, because one, you have an overseer. Two, you have a status symbol. You can legally become a citizen here if you want, Ure.
Damn.
Anyone who slays a chimera and brings proof that's high ranking. You can become part of, like, you can not only become like a citizen here, you can become like an upper echelon of, like, essentially almost like a noble. But they expect certain things of you if you do. You know, they want you to protect the home. So, but yeah, so you're kind of heading off away from the customs area, and Lycosia turns to you and she's like, okay, well, I can take you to my parents' house, but officially you are here for tailoring, so you should probably get your pelt tailored at some point so they don't suspect a thing. But that can happen after.
He nods.
Is there any cultural things that we should be aware of? Just so this is a delicate situation. I don't want to offend
Of course.
accidentally.
Well, given that you and Nolia are fortunately outsiders to our society, you should stick with Ure as best you can. Unless, of course, you need to split up while you're doing your, in the city, you should stick together. How much do you know about Hecenae culture?
Can I do a roll for that?
Yeah, you can do a roll. So I would say this is reason. You're using your brains to think, right?
Yeah, this is a... Is it still 2 D10?
2d10, yep, plus your reason, and then any appropriate skill that you think you can use.
Maybe religion?
Religion would work. Yeah, you can learn about, like, the religions of whatnot.
And that's like a +2, right?
That is a +2 if you're using your skill. So yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, 19. Oh, tier 3. That's real good. Okay, so yeah, you know specifically about Chimerian religion is they worship Kythea, the Bastion. She is a god of warfare, strength, strategy as well. But she is all about protecting your home, and she values strength. But you also know that don't be too prideful. You need to be humble. But for customs, especially from like a religious angle, you know that if any disagreements happen, they typically solve it through feats of strength. Either a duel itself or maybe like, a competition. Is there any like kind of specific thing that you want to like angle in on?
So her father, he's is he in the Senate or the cabinet? What is his role exactly?
They don't really have a Senate per se. He's one of the members of the War Council. The War Council are literally the leaders of Chimera. They are a group. You don't know how. Well, you'd probably know because the War Council is not necessarily a religious thing, but you would kind of know offhand knowledge, right? There is 3 different branches of the War Council, and each branch has 3 members. So altogether, there's 9 members. But yeah, they're basically the leaders. They come together and they lead the nation, and they vote on things, and they decide the direction the nation takes.
Are they like in their history? Are they hostile towards Tibet?
So you would know that 100 years ago, 100-ish years ago, a lot of Hecenae was actually under Tibet control. And you're actually at war with Cephi, which is the nation that Oswald is from, over the land of Hecenae. And Khimeria was like an independent state. They rose up and they fought against both the was it Cephians? I think is how you would say it if you're from. Yeah, that makes sense. And Tibetans. And they kind of inspired the rest of Hecenae to rise up. And so they kind of caused Hecenae to be what it is nowadays. It's different nation states. They kind of were the spark that ignited that. So because there was tension 100 years ago, they don't really view Tibet in like the strongest light. They're like, oh, you guys, but also they never conquered Khimeria, so they also kind of, they're a little indifferent, but they're also like, yeah, we beat the shit out of you in war 100 years ago. You're kind of whatever. It's almost like an indifference, like whatever, like we could take you,
like whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like outright hostility.
Not hostile. It's they might view you in terms of military strength as lower because they're like, yeah, whatever. Like, so what? We could take you, right?
Okay.
But they're not like, you, Tibetan. They're just like, oh. Yeah, if you try anything, we'll fuck you up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, this is a delicate operation. We don't want us that we come in peace.
Yeah.
I'll stay out of your way.
Yeah. Like you I think you're trying to look for social faux pas, right? Faux pas.
Yeah, like just things that things that are like social faux pas that could sour the negotiation.
So they're all about like protecting their homeland and like that whatnot. So anything that like, like I don't think you would bring it up, but if you're like, yeah, Tibet could totally take this over, it would be like a huge kind of faux pas. They're like, oh. And yeah, they're kind of like their society is pretty chill besides that. Like they don't, like inside the city itself, they kind of don't really care. They're like, yeah, we listen to our war council. If we have disagreements, we settle amongst ourselves.
I think that's a good basis to go off of as players. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, because they're kind of like, their society is not really. It's weird. Their society is both very strict and also very lax at the same time. It just depends on the thing. They're very strict when it comes to like protection and military, right? But they're kind of lax on other things. They're just like, oh, if 2 people have a disagreement, I'm sure they'll figure it out. And if not, then the law will come in. But like, we know we're citizens. They'll figure it out. They'll fight each other, or they'll do like a strength of contest, or they'll do something and they'll sort it out themselves. So like, judges are like, going to a judge is super rare, for example. Because like, yeah, people just figure out themselves if they have disagreements.
Okay.
So it's a very different culture than what you're used to, because it feels both super lax and super oppressive, just depending on what lens you're viewing it through, right?
I think it's like, it's without all the rituals.
Yeah, they're very
It's
like
same.
yeah. Because, like, their religion, especially since you rolled for religion, you would know, it's very much, like, kind of freeform. Like, they have holidays and whatnot, but their holidays are like, oh, it was a battle we won. Or, like, this is, like, when Kythea, like, did something cool and won a war, right? It's a lot of, like, it's celebrating victories, right? But it's in terms of, like, religion, there's not, like, you have to do this and that and this thing to worship. It's just like, yeah, like, you know, give her praise, maybe do some contest of strength for her, show off your might, but, like, I don't know, do what you want to, you know, worship her. Kill a Chimera, that's a big one. You know that they love that. People that, because it shows that you can protect your homeland. You have the strength to do it, because Chimeras are fucking tough. And they're also the children of their god. So if you are strong enough to defeat the spawn of their god, you're strong enough to protect your home.
Nice. That okay. So we do have like that's our cultural foundation for entering into a negotiation.
Yeah.
What's Lycosa's father's name, by the way?
Oh yeah. That is a good question. So she would let you know that his name is Lysandros.
Lysandros. And does he have a last name, or is it like should we refer to him as his title, like general?
Yeah. Council, war council member is his title, or war council leader. They don't really do last names here.
Okay.
Like if they need to refer to someone, if there's like two, you know, Lycosas, for example, they'll be like, oh, Lycosa, daughter of Lysandros. That's how they kind of do it. They're like, oh, who are you the kid of that's important, right? You know. Whoever is more social status is the one that you're like the kid of. You're like, okay, like, you know, if for example, Lycosa's mom was more important, it'd be like they refer to daughter of her. They'd be like, okay, yeah, like, but yeah, they don't really care about gender norms either here. They're like, if you're strong enough to hold down the fort and protect our land, we don't give a shit.
Hell yeah. The stepmother's name.
Yes, that's a good thing to ask.
Name?
Yes, her name is. Let me. I have to get to my notes. Ines.
Does she have a title, or is it just okay?
She just says. She's basically just the wife of like a fancy politician. Granted, this politician's also like a war leader, like a general. Because like so, there's three different branches of Chimera's council, and so there's the war council. There is the trying to think how they would describe it, because I know what it is. I just need to know how the people would think of it, right? I think they call it the Prosperity Council. So this is stuff for like logistics about like how much food is people getting, you know, stuff like that. Like how are the farms going? How is like they're all about logistics, right? So they call it the Prosperity Council. And then the last council is the Navy. So they have two. So war is kind of like a misnomer. Because war isn't just soldiers. War is about like strategy, and War's kind of like the top one, so it goes war, and then the other two are below it. War's kind of like basically, hey, should we go to war or not? Because there are a bunch like war's kind of big to them, right? Like war is a huge thing, and so they kind of like, should we go to war or not? Yes, no. So other nations, when they hear war, they think soldiers. Technically, the Navy's in charge of soldiers. The war is more so, where should we guide the nation, right? In terms of like, if you want to think modern day, the war council is kind of like the prime ministers or presidents, where like the other two councils are like their cabinets, right?
Mm.
So the guy's basically like a prime minister. So this is like the wife of a prime minister. So she's just living life nice. You know, she tends to her house, she does gardening, you know, she does nice stuff. But like she doesn't have a profession, right? So, yeah. So war council, which you can kind of think of as more like they call it war, but it's more like a general state of affairs. Then prosperity, which is like a logistics kind of thing. And then navy, which is the actual war. It's complicated, but they view war in a very... Their whole society is like formed on war. So they view it very much like in this like very like unilateral. Are we at war right now? No. Okay, good. What should we do? Are we at war right now? Yes. Okay, what do we do to end that war, right? So the war council is it's just like a general, you know, like a politician, right? It's a politician with like a huge weight of responsibility.
So, are their deals mostly militaristic?
Yes, they're very militaristic. Like one of their core
Okay.
principles is about like they don't go to war for the sake of war. They go to war if they view it something threatening their homeland. They are all about protecting their way of life. They just want to live on their island and be good, but they're ready if people come to them. And like their citizens, even their citizens are trained in regular combat. Like that's just the thing they grow up in school. It's just like how to use a sword, right? That's just a class for that. In case they get attacked, they just need to know like, I'm not part of the military, but I can kill a dude because I need to protect my homeland. Like that's instilled in them from like an early age. So they're very a warful culture, not in the sense that they seek war, but in the sense that they know how to do war.
Gotcha. That's such an interesting worldview for warfare, because it's not about control, it's about protecting.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all the information that I wanted. Does anyone else have anything?
I'm not rolling or anything because she's got no idea.
Okay. I mean, you also are with Lycosa right now, so you could just ask her.
Yeah.
Lycosa,
Yes.
what makes your father happy? What
Oh.
pleases him?
She just kind of looks out into like the far distance. That's a very complicated question.
It's a nest, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's at the root of it, it's his wife, yes. But he also has a very strong sense of duty. So if you ask him that question, he would say his homeland. But if we root down into it, it'd be his wife, yeah.
I guess we all burn for the ones that we love.
Yes.
How are we going to get into the house?
It's up for you all to figure it out.
Got a spare key?
Mm, I can get you into the back gate, but then it's up to you.
I feel like if we got caught breaking into his house, that is a very uncouth and undiplomatic way. Why can't we just knock on his door and, talk it out?
I would prefer you not to see my father at all this visit. I hope to distract him, and you can...
Oh,
Yes.
it's that bad, huh?
Yes.
Oh, which floor is your stepmother at?
She'd be on the second.
Do you have a floor plan or second floor?
Back the... So the house itself faces south. So she would be in the northeast second floor part of the building, back in the corner. She we'll say that she's taking you to like a almost like a moving my hand around as if that's trying to make me think better. Like a common garden area, right? That you can kind of look across and see their her parents' house. And so the west wall of it is like connected to like a mountain. It's like carved into like the mountain itself. But the north and east of it is like all gardens, and then there's the house itself. I can maybe make a floor plan. Let me open up Clip Studio.
Sam,
Yes.
you're more skillful at sneaking into things. Do you just need someone to keep watch? Because I'm way better at that.
This is tricky because it's a delicate situation.
Right.
I'm a foreigner. If they catch me, it would look like I'm a foreign assassin.
Yeah.
It's too like I can get in the building, but the optics of this appears to be a little too tenuous, I think. I can definitely get in the building and grant you access. But in terms of Ines trusting us, yourself or Yurei would be the best. Yurei has, well, legitimacy. And well, you have the promise of a doctor.
True. Well, this is not my forte. I'm able to talk with her and get in there. Just, this all feels so new to me. So I am not used to doing these things.
If this all goes to shit, let me just take the blame.
I, as much as I would like to refute that, I think, unfortunately, it is the best decision. But let's not think about that. I'm sure we can manage this well.
Yeah. Also, I think a random male breaking into a woman's quarters is
Oh,
that is not
right.
that is not quite. I know that we're in Khimeria and they have a different culture, but I'm sure that universally a male breaking into a female's private quarters is, you know, you get the gist.
Right. This whole situation is just, it's something. That's for sure. And I wish that there were better circumstances. That is for sure.
Okay, so you can see my really, really scuffed drawing of the thing. So you're in this park, right?
Right.
And there's some houses, and this is the house that you're wanting to get into, right? And you see it's part of, like, right on the mountain. It's carved into the mountain, and it's walled off because it's a rich person's house. And so there's a nice garden, and there's her room in the back. We can get into like an actual floor plan if we need to, but I'm hoping we don't, because I'm not good at drawing blueprints for floor. I'm not drawing floor plans. That's a skill, and I don't have that skill set. I've never practiced that skill set, so.
You did a good job. I like it. I think we can do the theater of the imagination.
Okay, good. But yeah, I'm going to close this.
All right.
So yeah, what's the plan?
Oh, as players,
Mhm.
this is my idea, and you guys can accept or reject. Totally fine.
Right.
Tasem gets into the building and gives you two access into the room. If there's guards, maybe Tasem will distract. Just act like just try and distract people within the rooms so you two can get in and do your diplomacy. That sound good enough? Or should we try another approach?
I'm fine with that. I think just the issue is how is Tassam gonna get out of a situation if it does become something.
Black Ash teleport out of the building.
Okay.
Lead them.
Well, this
out
looked like
the
a weird
window.
assassination attempt.
Everything. It just does look like a strange assassination attempt. Like, this is why I've been pushing. Like, maybe we can go to the front door. Maybe we can ask nicely. Maybe
we can just leave
can
a gift basket. I think that would be the perfect decision.
Yeah,
we just go in there, we leave a basket, and we do the thing, and we leave.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be like break and entering, right? Like Lacosta's like, I'm gonna leave up to you because you're like the actual adventurers. Like,
yeah.
But like you could try and talk to like the guards and distract or negotiate or bribe or like there's whatever you think of, right? Wherever you got, it doesn't have to be strictly like we break it. There's whatever you think of, we'll see it through, right? Just that Lacosta is going to distract her father, so he is not in the picture. There will be guards, but you can deal with them how you see fit.
I think that we should go soft like we should go soft-handedly, like because if we can get a vibe check from the guards to see if they are like whether they actually agree with just getting rid of us off the bat with no conscience, maybe we could just go in just being like, we could even just go in and say like, look, we're agents from Uray's state and we're coming to warn you about these cults. That could be our initial approach because that's the truth.
Yeah, I will say, because I'm assuming you're planning this out with Lakosa, that's like, so this is the equivalent of trying to go to the president and being like, Mr. President, there's terrorists. You need to listen to me. It's, I will straight up tell you, if you go with that direction, it's doable. It's just very hard because you're basically trying to go to like the house of one of the most powerful men in the country being like, you gotta listen to me. There's cults, man. And I need to see not the president. I need to go see the president's wife.
I would very much like not go for that.
Yeah, so just putting that in context.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's possible. It's just very difficult. Because the goal, remember, is you're trying to get to see Ines. You're trying to see her health condition because Uray needs to see for himself if this is even related to his. You know, he has some insight. He wants to see how she is, if it's related to his stuff at all. If not, maybe he can figure out some extra truths about this disease. So that's the goal. The goal is you want to you're basically trying to do a uninvited doctor's house call.
Yeah, because I do want to go with that approach because I have Nolia has the experience of dealing with that already. So there are some things that we can talk about between me and Ines, and we can bring a gift basket just to make sure that we're like trying to take care, make sure that she's in good health, and make sure that the guards see that we come with open arms. Like we don't plan anything. Leave your wheel outside, Mr. Man. Like if you do need it, we take it. But it's the thing of we need to seem like we're actually there for a reason rather than just Mr. President's wife, wake up. We need to see why you're sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think that the soft approach, because this looks like the optics of like just foreigners breaking into a house, talking to the wife does look like an assassination. We could just even go in and tell the guards that Lakosa brought us in as a surprise.
Yeah.
And that like we're just here as a surprise. Like if you want to check our like papers or whatnot, you can. Like we're not going to refuse. We'll even tell. Like we just need to be as truthful as possible, I think.
Right. I think that's the best way to approach it, where we're not lying, we're just here for a good reason, and if it looks like it's bad, it's not that it's bad, we're just really stupid.
Yeah, we're very like the purple water is safe. I've never seen blue water in my life. The blue water has danger inside of it. So gift basket. What could we put in a gift basket? Do we even have a gift basket, or do we have to go and make one? Or can we just
You can acquire one.
Have one.
You have money.
Yeah.
The Yuri raises his hand to the group, and he picks up his wheel, puts it down, shoves it away, like as if he's not going to use it. And then he says, "Wait here." And then he goes behind, like a counter or like something in which you can't see him. And then you hear, and he comes out. He looks the same, but now instead of black and blue, he's white and blue. And then he gestures, "Now I look like a priest." And then he does like, ta-da!
He did a fashion change.
Oh, that's so freaking cool. What the hell?
He says that where he's from, those who wear white are often those of prayer, and since most of my magic looks like this, and then he does the thing again where he puts his hand close to his mouth and he's whispering, but he says, "I just have to modify it," and then he cups his hands together, and then he looks like he's praying. And then it's like showing the feints of that recovery spell he uses to give you an idea visually. So he's, speaking words, and then you see like a faint glow, and then he's like, "Now I look like a real priest."
Okay. So
I won't bring the wheel.
Yeah, we can say that there is some extra, members of Lycosa's crew here, so they can... You're not just leaving a weapon out in a park. There's like a guy who's like, "Yeah, I'll take this, and don't worry, I'll hold on to your gear." Right.
Right.
Okay, so it sounds like the plan is you're going to basically do a negotiation. You're going to go up. There's like a side door.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're gonna talk to the guards and try and negotiate with them that you are here for good reasons, right?
Right.
Yeah, I also wanted to say that Yuri tells them that he won't speak. He'll just keep doing this, and he shows that his hands are together, and he's doing like a prayer gesture.
Okay. So do you think you have your plan, or do you want to discuss it some more?
I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
We got the gift basket, priest outfit. I have the doctor info. Is there anything else we're forgetting?
I think the story that we're collectively going to tell the guards is that Lycosa sent us in as a surprise.
Okay.
For Ines.
Okay.
Okay.
Sam knocks on the door.
Okay, so yeah, you part ways with Lycosa. She goes in ahead to talk to her father. Get that out of the way so he won't he won't be in the picture. So yeah, after some time you go to the door, you knock, and guard opens. He's like, "How can I help you?"
Hello, kind sir. We were sent here by Lycosa in regard to just a little surprise that she set up for her stepmother.
Okay. I want you to make a roll of some sort. What do you think? Yeah, what do you want to use?
I'm gonna do presents.
That makes sense, yeah. And then any skills?
And persuade.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Persuade and presence? Oh, holy shit. 21 that is a tier 3.
Damn.
So let me just tell you about how negotiations work. So negotiation targets have 4 stats. So they have an interest. The higher their interest, the more likely they'll accept your negotiation. They have a patience. When their patience hits 0, they're done, and you just have to see what their interest is. Like, you know, if you end up with like an interest of 4, that's a yes. So you're wanting to try to get as high of an interest as you can before their patience decreases. They also have a motivation, which if you find out their motivation, that kind of helps you know how to handle with them and negotiate better. And they also have a pitfall. And pitfalls are, if you just bring up their pitfall, that's an immediate like red flag and they just lose patience. So with a tier 3, using no motivation or pitfall, you increase their interest by 1, but their patience decreases by 1. So they're more interested into what you're saying, but their patience has been a little tested. So they're like, I see. Can I ask the reason for visit?
Yes, we want to check on her well-being and ensure that she's okay. We brought a gift. You may check the gift to see what's inside. There's nothing
okay.
really.
Sure. It's like, what kind of gift basket do you get? Is it like a fruit basket? Is it like more like a
Like a sweets and
Sweets?
get well
Okay.
soon
Okay,
type
cool.
of. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, huh, never seen you a lot around here before. If you know you closer, okay, well. So I guess the question is, are you going to try to appeal to them again?
Yeah. If we can appeal, because we also have we have Yurei over here looking very very well dressed.
That's
So
true.
hopefully that also helps.
Everyone hydrate.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
yay!
I could say that you could maybe have Yurei roll a religion check to kind of pass off as a priest, so they kind of buy it more.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So I would say presence plus religion would make sense.
Yeah. No, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, 19. That's a tier 3 as well. So you're not appealing to motivation, but their increased by 1, their patience decreased by 1. Their patience is a 0, but you end up with 4 interest, which is a yes. Just it's a straight up yes. So the guard will be like, okay, you brought a priest, brought a gift fast. Lacosta saying, yeah, that checks out. That makes sense to me. I say, yeah, you guys did it. You guys
Hell yeah.
rolled super well.
Whew.
But I'd like to think that Yurei is so in the moment that he is not breaking his priest role play.
Nice.
Locked in.
Mhm.
Locked
And
in.
you know how like in Assassin's Creed they walk really slow? Like he's still
Yeah.
doing that. He's
Yeah.
not even like breaking character.
Nice. So yeah, you get into the house. You're guided to Anissa's room. Aness. I guess Anessa's room. And there is currently a what would you call them? I guess like a nurse in the room with her, and she is currently in bed. So you do see that here. Let me set this up. Silly me, never set this up ahead of time because I just forgot. Okay, so you see a woman who's in bed. She has long, kind of brownish. It's like a reddish brown. This is her, but wearing, a nice dress. She has like a kind of golden belt, I guess, like a accessory, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, so she's lying in bed, and the guards says, "Lycosa sent a priest in a gift basket," and the nurse is like, "Oh, okay, um, I'll get out of your way then." And Anessa's kind of she's just lying there.
Mm.
What do you do?
How sick does she look? Just to get a thought.
She's definitely bedridden. They have like a warm, like a compass, like you know those like things that you heat up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. They have this like kind of they wouldn't have. It'd probably be like a bladder of some animal that they fill with hot water and heat up. So they have that on her body, on like her forehead to kind of heat her up. Actually, on her forehead would probably be like a cloth, like a towel that they put in hot water to heat her up, and then the bladder is probably it's another good area to try and heat up a person. Your chest, maybe. Um, so that's what the nurse has been doing. Has been replacing these like towels with hot water to try and keep her heated. She's bedridden. She's not really moving much. I don't think she's acknowledged your presence at all. She might be either sleeping or in a daze. You can't quite tell from just the doorway.
Mm-hmm. Nolia walks up
Mhm.
to Ines, puts the gift basket right by her on a little table or by the bedside. Uh, it is, Ines, is it?
Yes, you see that she kind of tries to prop herself up, and she looks at you, but her eyes are almost frosted over, um, and it's almost like she's looking past you, and she's like and kind of squinting a bit, trying to see who's there. Um, thank you. May I ask who's the gift from?
It comes from Akosa and us. We are here because we've heard of your condition and we wanted to help, and I have some leads, and I've seen this condition before, so I've wanted to see how it is for you.
Oh, you're a doctor. Oh, like oh, so that sweet girl.
I'm not. I am just. I am a simple woman. I am no doctor, but I have a youngin who also has the condition, and
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
just it's okay. Just I wanted to hear about how you've been dealing with it thus far, and how your vision is, how your heat is, just in general, a brief overview would help to see if it aligns well with what my youngin had to deal with.
Mhm. Well, as for vision, I can tell you're standing right in front of me, but I can't really see the details.
Mhm.
Just a general shape of you, colors and blur of colors, really. Some days it's better, but most days it's like that. And as for heat, well, it's been so cold, so very cold. They've been needing to keep me warm with heated towels and the like. I had to move to the to this guest room because there's a what's it called?
Furnace heater.
They don't really have like it's like a food you'd see in the middle of the room. It's like a basically like a essentially like an open fire, surrounded by like some stuff that you put like a. Let me look something up.
Is it almost like a brazier?
Yeah,
Or...
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say a brazier is kind of the right thing. Um, basically there is a yeah, a brazier and a you look around the room and you're kind of realizing that this is like a room of worship. So the brazier's there for a ritual of some sort, right?
Mhm.
So they basically turn this ritual room, this a room of worship into a makeshift room because it has, there's a fire that they can keep heated up. So yes, they had to move me into the room with the brazier, try to keep me warm. And yeah, you kind of smell now that she mentions it that like there's like a little bit of like uh there's an aroma in the air, almost like like there's some residue of like incense from back in the day in this brazier that you know they couldn't remove it all the way. Uh,
Mhm.
so there's almost like a kind of like orange peely lavender you see kind of you know sweet smell and smoke kind of going off because they're like,
Right.
gosh, what do? We don't have, we literally don't have we don't have anything for this, right? How do you treat someone who's freezing when you're in a Mediterranean climate and you're not used to that that place getting as cold as that, right?
Mhm. Mm. Okay. Uh, these are the. It's pretty similar what is between the two, and that's a shame to hear, but I I will let the priest here that came with us overlook as well. But again, thank you for willing to talk. I'm sure it must feel very, very freezing.
Yes, it's well, I'm just thankful that you are taking the time to try and figure what's wrong with me. It's very sweet. When you see Lacosia, tell her thank you.
Mhm. She gestures Uriel to like kind of head over.
Okay.
The Yurei heads over and he sits next to her. And he gestures that, like, hello, my name is Yurei, and will you allow me to perform a magical art on you?
She's kind of squinting really hard, and the nurse comes in and says, "Oh, this one, the priest is signing. I can translate what he is saying. Her vision's too bad; she can't make out your signs, but the nurse will act as intermediate." And then she's like, "Oh, yes, of course. However you see fit, Oracle."
So, I would like Yurei does his the My Life Is Yours spell.
Yep.
For this in particular moment, he cups his hands together, utters words that don't belong to him, and then he starts like doing that thing where he puts his hand pointing at her, and then he's like pulling the heel, like it's like he's trying to pull something out. And should I roll for that?
No,
or,
you don't need to roll. Just mark off one of your what are they called? Starts with an R.
Judgment?
No, not a judgment. Recoveries. Mark off a recovery.
Oh, right.
So you've used a recovery. So you see, her vision like unclouds, and she's very like shaking and cold, but like heat comes back to her, and it looks like it's working. It looks like she's being healed, but almost like just as quick as it's start to disappear, it comes back. You see she immediately like lets out a breath, and you can see her breath because she's that cold, and her eyes kind of start almost like frost on glass, kind of frosting up, and she starts shaking again. She's like, "Oh, for a minute I felt such warmth. Thank you for trying." But I will say that as you do it, you do glean some insight into the nature of the beast, of what is causing this for her. This is a curse. You would recognize this as a curse, Yurei. This is no disease of flesh.
The Yurei signals the translator, and then he says, "Your Majesty, what you have, it's a curse.
Oh my.
Tis not an infection."
Well,
he gestures. "I feel like this was targeted towards you."
This is a lot to take in, but this is the first time we've even heard of what manner of nature this is, and the first step to beating something is knowing what it is. So for that I am thankful.
The Yurei gestures that he has more questions, but if you want more time for yourself, there is no pressure.
I could maybe answer a few questions. I owe you that much if you can find the root of this.
The Yurei gestures. "I feel like this was targeted towards you."
Well, I am. This is the first time we've even heard of what manner of nature this is, and the first step to beating something is knowing what it is. So for that I am thankful.
The He gestures. Do you know anyone that you're close to that has acted rather strange, odd, or very... And then he puts it bluntly, like, hostile.
I can't say that I have noticed that. I tend to keep to myself, if I'm being honest. Just the guards and my husband and the servants around the house, and they've been their usual selves.
And then he asks, how is your husband?
Well, he's been the same old. Definitely worried about my condition. But that he cares. Just it's hard for most people to see that. He cares a lot for this country, and he's trying his best.
He gestures, I'm glad. And that he wanted to do one more thing, and he makes it clear what he's doing. Like, as he's pulling it out, he's pulling out his sensor thing.
Okay.
And I want to roll like him using it.
Yep. We can do the same check that you did. Religion and presence makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, you guys are rolling really nice tonight. 18's a tier 3.
Hell yay!
You
Nice.
don't pick up anything in the immediate area or even like the city. The cult has not touched here.
No, okay, good.
Yeah. This is
Then-
clean. You see, you everything is as it should be. Everything is as is ordained.
Then after that, there's like a sigh of like a sigh of relief look on Yurei's face, and then he puts his sensor away, and then he says, "Well, Your Majesty, I can confirm. I will. It's like I will. It's like I will be honest with you. I was afraid that there was someone trying to maliciously come after you in this castle."
Oh, and of course,
But
you don't need to refer to me as Majesty. There are no kings or queens here.
he has that like he does that thing where his hand where he's like, right, that's a thing, right? But then he says that I will be honest with you, I am not just a priest, but I am also able to see things that are not there, and I'm glad to know that my fears have been squandered. I know for a fact that there's no moles or anything hidden here.
Well, that's good to hear. Then I'm very glad that.
Because now he said, like, whoever or whatever placed this curse on you is out there, and we have to find out who or what and why.
Nolia didn't really think about it too much until just now, which made her perk up. If I may, actually, do you get to spend a lot of time with your husband?
Yes, well, until recently, we would always make time. we would do a thing where we'd find different books to read together and discuss them after. But as of late, I am unfortunately too ill to partake in that. And he has been working hard to, well, try and find a cure for me.
The Sam approaches and he just says, "We are aware that your husband is a diligent and protective man.
Yes.
We are also trying to protect our nations. This curse could spread throughout all of the world. We do have one lead. However, this is a delicate situation and we require a little bit of cooperation."
Of course. I understand. I want to be rid of this so dearly so I can go back to my life and not worry my dear husband so.
Of course. How do you think he would respond to us?
Well, as of right now, he might be more receptive knowing that there is a curse involved. Curses imply certain things, of course. So he might even be willing to pay you for your services to find the cause of it. At least that's my hope. I know he is a stubborn man, but deep down he sees the good in people. He just needs some persuasion sometimes to admit it. She kind of lets out a weak chuckle.
I know this is a huge ask for strangers you just met. However, if you could vouch for us, this would speed up the process of finding a cure or an antidote or someone that could break this curse.
Yes, I don't, well, we can summon him to this room and I will make him see reason. I know he's stubborn, but he will listen. He has to listen.
Well, he is your husband, and I think you would know him more than we would.
Okay.
He kind of just gives like a warm chuckle.
Yeah. So that's what you want to do? You want to summon him here?
Do we even want to summon him here? Is that a good plan?
That's up to you. That's up to you. It sounds like you want to talk to him, but
I think we should not just yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
just yet. Okay, can we retcon?
Yeah.
You can. We can retcon.
We can just say that we'd like meet with him
later.
At some
yeah,
other
you could.
time.
You could say that.
Yeah. All right, let's retcon.
Yeah. So we'll say we'll have an addendum to the end of that thing where you're like at another time or something. Does. Yeah. No worries there.
Yay.
I was like, holy shit, you want to meet him right now?
Oh god.
It just throws a fucking spear at us.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Should we just take our leave then?
It's up
if
to you.
we've had what we've had to say,
That's up to
what do
you.
you guys think? Or do you want to still investigate?
I had one more question.
Yes.
Do you do a lot around the place? I know this is a weird question. I'm sure it might seem like that, but are you mostly just here every now and then you help around with stuff and you don't get too involved with national the duties and what would it be, of course?
Oh, I am no politician. I mostly tend to my gardens. I do some communal service around town. I believe that our parks should be well taken care of, so I help out with communal planting and tending to the trees. But as for politics, I'm afraid I don't involve myself with that.
Mhm. That that is fair. I was just aiming to see what could have been the cause of the curse in the first place.
Well, now that we know it might be a curse, um, the day I got sick, or the day before I got sick, the week before I got sick, rather, I was helping out at a nearby park, tending to some trees, pruning them and whatnot, and well, I slipped and fell, and I cut my knee on a strange rock. Thought nothing of it at the time, but if it's a curse, maybe the rock was cursed. I do not know how. I am afraid I am very ignorant on how such supernatural matters work.
This is new to me as well, so it's of course not your fault.
And it was a week before I felt any symptoms, so I didn't even think to put two and two together. If it even is related, I do not know.
Mm. Okay. Well, I I think we have everything we need for now. I do, at least.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Of course. I hope that your little one has gotten better.
I I hope so too.
Okay, so are you going to leave her to rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you head out of the house back to the meeting point with where you're supposed to meet with Lacoste after. She's not there yet, but there is some of her entourage, and they give you back your wheel, your A.
The he thanks them and he quickly hides behind somewhere, and then you hear, and he comes back out with the black blue garb again.
Okay.
Mm.
Are you just gonna wait for Lacoste, or do you have any stuff to talk about yourselves?
I think Tessem is going to turn over to Nolia and he's going to say, "You did really well. Have a little
Uh,
bit more faith in yourself."
well, this talking matters is different, and well, I think I also have something at stake as well.
Do you think that we should just head to Thelios and find that doctor? Or is that a misnomer now? Now that we know that this is a curse.
Like, I don't know where to start, because at first, thinking that a first thought was, oh, maybe it's a lack of connection or being able to be there for one another, because the way it happened for my youngin, he I'm the only one in the house, and he doesn't really have anyone else to take care after him, so maybe I correlated the two as something that could have been the cause of the curse, but Ines and her husband seemed to be fine, so I don't know where to even begin. Thalius seems like we should go there and talk to the doctor, but if it's a curse, then what really... Are there doctors proficient in curses? Did she looks over at your...
Sorry, my headphones jacked for a second. Can you repeat that last bit?
Oh, it's just, are there doctors that are proficient in dealing with curses?
The Ure says, unless it involves the cults, then no. I can only identify, he gestures, that from what he felt, it doesn't relate to the cult. So at this point, he doesn't know. Nor would his people.
I will have to give you some intel, but at a later time. Are we still near the guards?
You can, no.
Okay, no.
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 Sam motions them like to hide behind a tree to come with him. And he undoes his hood. And what you see is half, like, you know when flesh has been like completely removed from like one side of like a face, like it's an anatomical structure. You see that, and in the eye socket there's this like pink light in the darkness. And he tells them, well, I've been cast to live. And these curses are, well, tailored into Met. The divinators in Temet might have an answer, or might have a lead on what type of curse this is. Their magic is, well, beyond the magic that I'm... Beyond this type of magic. Perhaps they would know.
Here you go, players. And
Oh, shit.
audience.
He wraps his hoodie, like his hood, back. See, I can't... Unlike Sergeant Oswald, I can hide.
she's taken aback, of course, but she manages to get her shit together and just says, "Well, that's uh, I'll see. We'll see what happens then. Because I I just don't know."
The he gestures. It's not for me to judge, but and he admits he has one question.
Go for it.
And then he does that thing where like like how like the joke where like when you put your hands together and you're like boy, but it's like only the first half of that. Like he's not putting the hand down, so he puts his hands like close to his lips and he goes, and then he gestures. Does it hurt? Do you like? And did how does it feel?
I mean, I'm hideous as shit, but I do not feel any pain. It's an adjustment. I mean, he lifts his like left hand and like undoes the bandages, and it's like a skeleton hand. It's an adjustment, but look, I didn't think it could get any worse. But seeing the state of Sergeant Oswald, it's... Whew. At least I have a body. That guy... Like, when we're reanimated, we're made to be fully functional and useful. But Oswald... just looked like a... I've never seen a revenant look like that. Just feels like a practical joke. I know the gods are cruel, but that just seems so... I don't know. Maybe it's not my place to speak about other gods, but we are made to function and to serve. Intermet. That is our sole purpose.
You're he kind of like I don't know what's the right word for it, but he gets a bit like he puts his like hands on his like hips sort of thing, and he looks and he has this like disappointed expression, and then he gestures while looking at you. He says, "Excuse my hubris, but I believe you are not ugly. What you have," and then he points there. He said, "I have," and you can see him hesitate a little, and then he gestures. "I've seen ugly," and like his hands are shaking because he can't explain what it is. But he said, "Something took my voice, I've seen ugly. You are not that. And he goes through his sketchbook, his notebook, and he goes to where he drew all his companions, and he drew you, and then he writes something on it, and then he says, "I will remind you," and then he shows what he wrote, and it's a picture of a sketch of you with the word with the words like handsome on it.
He just laughs. It's not like a mocking laugh or like a satirical laugh. It's just a chuckle because like I think for Sam, he's already realized this. He pats Ure on the shoulder, and he just chuckles to himself. I think I'm going to be okay. However, I think we should report back.
The Nolia kind of she like jokingly raises her hand. Wait, I actually have a question about the. She hovers over her base. The eye. Does water go in it?
You know, I haven't actually tested my new features. You know, I was reborn last month.
Oh,
Everyone, thank Bunny. She's raiding us. Bunny.
Yeah!
Raid,
Oh my
raid, raid,
gosh,
raid.
hi,
Hey,
Bunny.
how was your raid?
it's the Bunoi.
Bunny.
Bunny.
Welcome. Hi, Tay. Yes, I'm Lavender Gardens. You can call me Lav. I'm a goth moth. And I do tabletop and visual novels. That's what I stream. We are currently doing Myths of Hecenae. It's not D&D. Hi, Hippo. It's actually something called Draw Steel. It's in playtest right now by MCDM Productions. It's very cool. It's like D&D, but it's basically D&D, but I think the rules are better. I think they're cleaner and crisper. And we are doing a Bronze Age fantasy, so it's very Greek inspired. But yeah, we're doing an actual play. It's very cool. But yes, getting back to it, if we want to give like a little recap, one of our players, to Sam, say hi to Sam.
Hi to Sam.
Yeah, Knife, played by Knife, has revealed that he is half revenant. He is a reanimated corpse, and they're trying to help out a woman who is cursed currently. So they're discussing that. Yes, let's continue.
I haven't actually tested out my new features aside from turning into some ash. However, Kemetic magic is quite unique. It defiles the laws of death itself. Many scholars are learned in this practice. However, I'm not sure if this is related to that. I asked Soliel about what if this was like a curse? Well, no. What if this was like a disease from the upper planes? We can dunk my head in some water and find out.
Wait, have you tried to like put your finger and you know
Or like in my eye socket?
it? Yeah. I don't necessarily just want to say it like that, but yeah,
I mean, if you pay me, maybe I would.
I
You know, just a little extra.
I'm not gonna pay you for that.
I think I don't offer my revenancies for free. Come now. He's joking. He like gives gives her like a shoulder. I'm joking. Come on. And then he puts his finger in his eye socket.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna. There's bone back there, so eventually you're gonna hit bone.
He kind of gags. It's like
Oh,
disgusting. It's like ugh,
she gags as well.
ugh,
Uh,
okay, that's enough. Maybe you
Okay.
should have paid me.
Maybe
That's
I should have.
gross.
Actually, you know what? Next
Uh,
beers on me or whatever.
uh, okay, let's just nausea.
Okay.
See, I can feel sick, but I don't actually. But I'm not actually sick. It's actually kind of a rip off, to be honest. Just give me the full thing where like I don't feel sickness or illness. That would be great. I think I'd be a bit invincible, to be honest.
So as you're doing your hijinks, Lacosa does come back to you all. She is, she looks kind of a little upset. She's kind of muttering under her breath, and she comes to y'all. She's like, even when I'm like asking for fake help, still such a hassle even getting it out of Father. I hope everything went well with you all.
It very much did.
Oh.
We've made some progress for as far as we know.
Oh, I'm very pleased to hear that, actually.
It's From what Yurei said, it's a curse of some kind.
Oh. Well. I was not expecting that, to be honest, but... And this... You mentioned this leader earlier, this doctor, having a cure for, well, what we thought was a disease, I guess. Breaking this curse.
Mm-hmm. I still want to go talk to them, but I don't know how it would go from then on. If they would even have the cure or any idea. It could just be... I know that this could be at the end pointless, but I still want to try.
We have to try. We have to try.
Yeah.
It's our only lead. That woman is a ray of sunshine, and I very much do not want to see her gone from this world.
Mm-hmm.
She said that the week before her symptoms appeared, that she tripped on a rock.
A rock. We can.
Just outside. It's perhaps the environment has been cursed. That it's just trapped, waiting.
A week before, I know what park she was working at. She was doing a communal center in a park downtown. We can go there and examine and look for this rock. I do not know if it is cursed, if it's even related, but better to find anything.
It's definitely worth taking a look, but otherwise, I think the best plan would be checking this out first, then going on to head over on boat to Thelius.
Of course. Let me take you to the park and we can search for this rock. And I don't know. I'm out of my element, as it were, with curses.
Same.
I think that there is some silver lining here. Your mother was not interfered with by the cult. Yurei can confirm that.
That is one relief. Having a cult involved.
Yuri gestures that his fear was that there was someone in the castle that was either place a curse on her, or beforehand what we thought was an infection. But after examining the hole, and then he shows the sensor again and flips it around, and then he catches it and says, "There's nothing cult related in or even around," so that narrows it a little bit.
Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Second raid.
Yeah. Welcome. I'm Lavender Gardens. You can call me Lav. I'm a goth moth that streams tabletop, RPG, actual plays, and sometimes visual novels. Saxon raid. But yes, thank you. What were y'all up to today? Yes, our party is currently discussing. There is a woman who's been cursed, and they're trying to figure it out. So they're following up some leads. Oh, I guess we should also say that we are using what we're playing in. That's kind of important. We're playing Draw Steel, a playtest for Draw Steel, by MCDM Productions, and it's a homebrew setting that's like a Bronze Age fantasy. So yes. But yeah, does the party have any other inquiries, or do you want to check out that park?
You checking out the park?
Mhm.
Yeah, let's look at the park.
Okay. Oh god.
Sorry, that was my alarm.
No worries. So yeah, how are you? You're looking for a rock in a park, which is there's lots of rocks in parks. So how are you trying to find this rock?
Okay. Would being proficient in jewelry / blacksmithing help, because I could tell difference from rocks? Because Ness did say it was a strangely different type of rock.
I'll let you use jewelry. I'll let you. Sure, why not?
Okay.
And so are you just kind of trying to keep an eye out for this rock?
Yeah.
Okay. What is? I always call it the wrong thing. It's not insight. Is it intuition? Is the stat that starts with the 9?
There is intuition. Yeah.
Roll intuition with your jewelry skill.
Okay. So that's the 1 + So intuition's 1. So 1 plus 2
Yep.
because I have
Yep, yep.
jewelry. Okay.
Yeah. And we'll say this is a group activity, so people need certain amount of successes to find it. Okay, 8
Come
is a
on.
tier 1, so unfortunately that is no successes you can't find. No. Yeah. You're gonna say knife?
Trying to see if I have any skills because I am a grave robber,
Yeah.
but like, maybe track. Like if we can backtrack the
Backtrack or
path.
tracks? Sure, we'll allow that. So yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
what kind of attribute do we think? I mean,
Maybe that's
yeah.
Maybe that's reason.
I can see reason. Yeah, that makes sense to me. You're doing like the Sherlock Holmes deducing, playing in your mind, being like, what happened here?
What happened here? Did she take 2 steps forward, 2 steps
Yeah.
back? Does this like took her shoe just to measure the footprints?
Yeah. Oh, that was only 1d10. We need another one.
Okay,
But you got a
let's roll.
13 just off 1d10, so that'd be 16 altogether. So still a tier 2, but tier 2 is some successes. So you're on the right path. And yeah. Anyone else want to try keep finding this rock?
I am able to try again,
Yeah,
right?
you
Or
can try
no?
again. You just need to use a different skill. Jewelry is off
Okay.
the table.
Nature?
Yeah, nature makes sense. That's totally rational.
Okay.
And are you still going to be using intuition to look around? Or?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Ooh, that's better. 15.
There we go.
15's a tier 2. So, yeah, I'll say with 2 tier 2 results. That's a lot. That's a lot to use. You're able to narrow it in, and you do find this rock. It has these like kind of greenish specks on it, and you're able to figure out it's rock because of one of the tracks. And also, there's some dried blood on it, and you're like, oh, okay, this must be the one that she hurt herself on. So you have found the rock. What are you doing with it? I will say too, you are a human. Humans typically have supernatural senses, right? Your supernatural senses aren't pinging.
Well, she tries to like cut herself with the rock.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take 1 point of damage.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. So you have cut yourself on a rock. You don't notice anything strange or different. You just it hurt.
Wow. Well,
Was there
that I for starters, nothing feels awfully wrong with this rock. 2, that cut hurt. I'm hoping that it leads to something, but I'm not sure if it will. Oh, we should keep the rock at least.
You're gonna take the rock? Okay. Are you just picking up the rock as is, or are you gonna put it in something?
I'll put it in like a little sack.
Okay. Okay. So you got the rock, and
Mhm.
yeah, you're gonna head back to the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Um. Two things actually. Because it is getting late, so you're probably
Mhm.
gonna have to spend the night in Khimeria City because it does take like half a day travel back, and you know
Okay.
it's like evening. And also, Yuri should probably actually get that pelt, tailored into a cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Hosta will bring that up and be like, we should probably go see that before they close.
Sam whispers into Yure's hat. You know that like really cool thing you did with the fit? You know, when you turned it like white? Can you do the same thing with the pelt? Not here, but like when we get back, that would be really cool, thanks. That'd be really cool to see. That's so cool. How did you learn how to do that?
The Yurei says that where he's from, it's actually we were taught that priests often dress in white, but we didn't want to confuse us with anyone else that wears that, so we cover ourselves in black and blue garb. He gestures, and then he said, "At least that's what I'm told. I don't know if that's true. I just hear that when you wear white, you look like a priest. White garbs."
Everyone,
Hey,
hydrate.
Lab.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the hydrate.
Yeah.
Hydrate.
Hell yeah.
But yes, knife.
Do they wear white into med? I think it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wear white into med. I think it's like priest class thing. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like, white's, like, well, I guess common folk would be very off-white, right?
yeah.
Kind of brownish. But, like, pure white would be, yeah, priests would do that, because it's, one, like, it's a status symbol that you can keep that clean, and, like, be like, ooh.
That's so expensive. He just says that that's expensive. That's it.
Okay. So yeah, you go to the tailor's, you get your pelt fitted. So you now have a fancy Chimerian robe. Yay!
Yay! Slay!
Yurei's like moving it around, looking at it, and he's just like, "Whoa."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It is a status symbol here in Khimeria, so people will definitely turn their head to you and be like, "Whoa!" They'll think you're like either a military leader or just a high-ranking member of society. So, I'll say on like any like social skills that involve Chimerians, you get edge.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so you spend the night, and then you head back to Dorosos in the morning. So you get there in like the afternoon. And let's see here. What I want to hear what the party's plan is.
My plan, just Thalius, talk to Doctor.
Go to Thales, find a
Rock.
doctor.
Yeah, Rock. Maybe something about Rock. Who knows? Maybe I just carry a pointless rock the entire time.
Yeah. You might be carrying a pointless rock. You don't know. You might. Who's to say? Who's to say?
We'll see.
You'll see.
I think as a player,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that Solin has like courier business,
Yes.
that if we go to the Laos, we can hit multiple goals.
Mm-hmm.
So goal number 1, we try and find the doctor. Goal number 2, we find someone to scry for Sergeant Oswald's body.
Yeah, that there. Yeah.
Goal number 3, Ure can find traces of the cult.
Mm-hmm. And technically,
And rule
all this is also another goal for Solem, because Solem wants to get into the good graces with the Chimerians, and if you do this and you get Lysandros on your side, that helps out Solem's goal.
exactly. Also helps my goal, which is to scry for another package.
Yeah, a package. Yeah,
Just a package.
Yeah.
Just just a package.
just looking for a package.
Just a package.
Yeah.
So I'm on like as a player, I'm on board with
Mhm.
Thelaeus as a destination.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. I think we'll wrap that up here.
Oh.
Yeah. Because we have been going for 3.5 hours ish. Not quite, but almost there. And
Mhm.
also, if we are going to be traveling to a new nation, I want to do it next week so I can prepare some more.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had to figure. I had a
Hell
thought that
yeah.
you'd probably be going to Thalius, so I was like, I have some stuff prepped, but like, I also want the whole party to be there. That's kind of like the big thing is I want the whole party.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like, yeah, if everyone's going to like a different nation, I want to be like, hey gang, this is what I want. The cohesion to be like, this is what we're doing. Even though I know like Oswald and Solon would be down with it because it helps further their goals as well. But like just to be on the same page, don't want to be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're like halfway across the country right now. Bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, good session, everyone.
Thank you.
I will say you did gain a victory for that negotiation.
Oh yeah.
So you're at 2 victories right now.
That went a little too smoothly.
You guys rolled really. You both rolled tier 3 results on. Like you basically like you rolled so good. Like what you were doing was like, yeah, he was losing patience, but you're also gaining interest. And it's like, oh, okay, well, like you literally just super rolled your way into it. It's like,
Oh, please.
yeah,
Please.
by
Please let us in.
by rules as written, you got to tier 4, or you got to level 4 interest, which is enough for a yes, just a straight yes. And yeah, it's like, well, you did it. You rolled real good. Can't argue with that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm also silly. I just realized something. Of course, I always right at the end of the stream. I forgot to put your ats at the stream title.
Oh yeah.
That's me being silly. So let me. Also realizing that I don't think I can just like shout you out back to back to back. But I'll start. We'll start because I think there's a cooldown, right?
I think so. At least from the official command.
Here, let's do the unofficial just so we can. Knife. Boo. You're playing Half-Life?
Yeah, I
Oh,
played
hell yeah.
Half-Life last
Hell
week.
yeah, nice. Marinade, what's your?
It should just be my name and then the IE at the end. The name is fine now, thank God.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure if wasn't sure.
No, yeah. It's been a bit since I've last streamed anyway, so.
Okay. Here, can you say something in chat just so it's easier for me to copy and paste?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Same with you, Cypher, because that'd be really easy.
Oh, yes. Let me do that.
Yeah, everyone check out these people. This is on me for forgetting to link in the thingy. Roblox, that makes sense. That's a Marinade classic.
Yeah.
I better see metaphor, Cypher. If I type this in and I don't see metaphor, good, it's metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone check out these armful people. You got any fun stuff to plug coming up?
No.
Nope.
Okay, fair. Okay, I'm going to raid. Who should I raid? There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people streaming tonight. But I know who I'm raiding, because it makes sense. Burly Blue! She is currently playing Atlas! A sick-ass RPG with, like, furries with the dumpies.
The
Friend of the
dumpies.
show. Friend
Hell
of the
yeah.
show. So yeah, let's start a raid on her. It's a fun game. Literally, me and her were playing it like we stayed up all night playing it. It's that fun.
It's so fucking
it's
good.
so fun. So yeah, let me get the raid message going. Sub raid. Love. Aw, thank you. Yes, thank you as always, Amanda, for joining in on our adventures. Yes. We will see you all next week. And yeah. Okay, and ta-ta, everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.